CHIS.
Yeah, what's up with it?
You're silly.
419 on the grind. We got my man Jason, Ashleigh, Chris Keller. We starting it off. We're gonna just go through real estate, man. Q&As, going ham, answering any questions y'all might need us to answer. We're gonna be talking about some wholesaling. We're gonna be talking about some lease options. My girl Ashleigh, she got all the hot houses on sale in the market. My man Jason is doing the fix and flip game. If you fix and flippers out there, need to know about that. So let's get right off into it, though.
Let's start it off. We're starting off with first off, we're going to teach people how to buy a house and start from there. The whole process of it. A lot of people think that it's the whole 20% down game and the old school is impossible. You need a 740 credit score and all that. So we're going to eliminate some of this stuff, the false things we were told growing up. For instance, when you first start off, you want to go get a pre-approval letter, find you a local lender, find somebody who's trustworthy, somebody that you can. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, hold on. There we go. Sorry about that, but for instance, for a down payment, you can get an FHA loan. It's about 3.5% down. To put that in perspective, it's a $100,000 house. It's about $3,500 down. You get that with your income tax return or save a little money throughout the year. Conventional loans are about 3% down, and that's if you don't go through a certain program. Some programs are 0% down. For other veterans out there, you can get a house with a 0% down. You can also get closing costs covered. So there's a lot of times that they can walk out of the closing table without putting any money down and get whatever house they desire. As far as credit scores, it's not like it used to be. It used to be a 700, 720. Now you can get pre-approved as low as a 620 FICO score, and some of them as low as 580, depending on who your lender is. Also, I get this question all the time. I don't know about you guys, but student loans have come into play a lot, and a lot of people think that they got to be paid off completely. That's not true at all.
False.
Yeah, they just take a percentage and apply it to your debt to income ratio. So don't feel like you're $80,000 in debt due to student loans and you're stuck in a $400 apartment for the rest of your life. What else? I know you probably get this a lot too. Like, everybody says don't buy right now because it's a seller's market.
It's the best time.
Yeah, right now is a great time to buy.
It's the best, lowest interest rates.
Yeah, you have probably the lowest interest rates we'll probably ever see in our life. So you can't beat it. So
and life though, like literally in the last 10, 15 years, the interest rates haven't been as low. Yeah. 1 to 3%.
Yeah. Somebody got refied at 2.75 the other day.
I heard 2.9. Yeah,
that's crazy.
And that's crazy.
Like our parents had 10, 12%. So
some of them had ARM loans where it fluctuated.
10, 12%, easy.
Nah, it's crazy how much that's changed. You know, like,
so much that changed though, and even inquiring a lot of different properties, just talking to those folks that might not have the money or they might not have, the specific type of credit they may need. You can always just jump in straight into wholesaling. It takes no money down. It's an easy strategy from start to beginning, and it's just so overlooked. People think it's a lot more complicated than what it really is.
What is wholesaling?
So wholesaling is literally you finding distressed properties, beat up properties. I'm talking about the properties that you might walk into and think it's a haunted ghost in there, or the roof might be missing, or it might be a wall knocked out, or like I see Jason sometimes post the houses with the light fixture that just matched the whole background, like the crazy looking houses. And for a wholesaler, our job is primarily to find distressed houses for buyers and get those at a significantly discounted price and leave some meat on the bone for our investors to buy them, fix them up, and make a little bit of profit on the end of the sale themselves.
Now, as far as being on the other side of it, if you're a person that owns the house, why would you want to wholesale?
So if you own a house, it's a couple reasons. You may owe a few different back taxes on a house. Your parents might have gave it to you, inherited it, and you don't know what to do with the property. And there's a lot more other reasons. Those are just a couple just to get started. If you do own a house and you necessarily don't know 100% what to do with it, and you don't have the money to fix it up. So you would most definitely, first thing you probably want to do is call a wholesaler, because not to downgrade
Oh,
any.
yeah, you're gonna say it.
I don't want to do it.
Realtor.
not to downplay any.
But you're being real.
Not to downplay any realtor, but there's no inspections that you may be required to pass. There's and I'll let Ashleigh tell it.
It's quicker to close too.
Yeah, it's quicker closing.
Cash deal usually.
Cash deal, cash offer. It's a lot quicker route to some people who may not know how to purchase properties,
Okay.
or who may not be as much as knowledgeable. Like my first wholesale with one of my friends, he was a drug dealer. I keep it 100. He was a drug dealer out here, making lots of money, and I had pulled him to the side like, hey, this is something you may want to do. Let's purchase a couple properties. If something happened to you, say you go to jail or anything like that in that source, who's going to be the person that makes the money now? Your significant other or your BM, however y'all want to say it. You know what I mean? She can go pick up rent, can't she?
Exactly.
If you got a property with a tenant already in there and it's cash flow running, you can make a call and be like, hey, baby, go pick up that rent for me. But you can't go tell her to go make 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 different runs or something.
No, it's residual income every month too. So it's always there.
Yeah, most definitely. For the wholesale side.
Okay. So I want to just tack in on that, because I did the wholesale game for a little bit. And what I was looking for was, like you said, distressed properties. You look at those ones where you're in the neighborhood and you're like, man, like it's going to take so much money for this to get fixed up right. And maybe the neighborhood doesn't go for very much. Maybe the average house sold is 15, 20K. So if it takes 20K for a house to be fixed up and the neighborhood goes for 20K, I mean, you're in the hole already. And if there's 5,000 in back taxes, like it just gets added on and added on. So I was looking for some of those people that were like, hey, like I can't do it. Like I'm on Social Security, whatever, can I get rid of this house? And they would only want whatever they would want for it. And, you look up the comps and make sure that, everybody's happy at the end of the day. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know me, Ashleigh, I'm with Howard Hanna. Jason's my partner in crime here. He got me in the real estate game 3.5 years ago, just solely based on seeing me sell Pure Romance out of the back of my car. You ladies probably recognize me from there. We probably had a party because I did that for a really long time. But I actually love it. I've been on the seller side for a while, and I have however many listings I had, like 12 or 13 at one point in time, and like 6 of them are at title right now, going in closing. It's been
so we need more, Chris.
It's been, yes, please. It's been nuts.
We're working on the pipeline right now. We're going to have a lot of properties going through there.
Yes.
In and out.
So if you are looking to sell your house, you guys might be wondering, like, how do we come up with that number of like, what can I sell my house for? So what we run is what's called a market analysis, and it runs like comps for what was sold in, like, say, a half a mile radius of your property that has similar attributes, like similar number of bedrooms, similar number of baths, and square footage. You got a garage, and then they'll give us like say your house goes for $100,000. The neighborhood does. It's like, okay, what do you want to sell it at? Chris, what do you want to sell your house at?
At $100,000, I'm gonna want $100,000 probably. If I know it's worth $100,000,
right?
I'm probably gonna want $100,000. But sometimes we do get those clients that may have a house in a particular area and they put so much work into it. Hey Chris, I put 10, 20 grand into this. I gotta have 40,000 for it. And then when I go to run some of my comparables, I look at it like, yeah, I don't think we can get 40. You know what I'm saying? Necessarily. And that's for a lot of people who just jump straight into real estate. Like, I know I just want to buy me a house. I want to fix it up, and I want to sell it for the whole amount, that all the money I put back into it. So you got to, more or less strategize with it. Get the house for, a 20 to 30% discount. That way you can leave a little meat on the bones, or, some room where you can put money into the house and then make a profit after. The fix, the flip, the repair value of it, the ARV of the house, and just moving forward on it.
The hardest part is telling people like their sentimental value isn't the true value of the property. Like that,
I hate it.
That's the worst. Or like what you were saying, like, well, I put 20 grand into it. I have to get that 20 grand. Just because you put 20,000 into a house doesn't mean it's worth $20,000 worth of
more.
Yeah.
Like, you pay 10, you put 20. I'm like, I think I want 35.
Yep.
The comparable says 15 to 20 around here.
Yep.
That's, yeah.
So you have to watch it. And that's one of the biggest issues I run into is like, oh, man, I understand. Like, this was your family's house for the past 100 years, and you've done this much work to it, and this is what the market's telling you it should be at. But sometimes your work isn't as good as you think it is, and you have to break that news to them.
Yeah, don't go putting marble tubs over there on Avondale or something. You know what I mean? Or just marble tubs. I mean, because I've seen a lot of people. Some of my friends, starting off in the game. Even myself. You kind of grow that attachment towards like your property.
Yeah, because you're building it, making it yours.
Yeah, so. Essentially, if you're going to, work the property to make a profit, you don't really want too many emotional attachments to it. Like, you don't want to make it look like something, this is something I would like to, do this, do that. You mainly got to go by what the people like, what you getting feedback on. Like, hey, Chris, I like those. I'm loving them gray walls. I'm loving them plank floors, the new click floors, and just go off the people. The people will let you know, video by video, walkthrough by walkthrough. Ashleigh.
That's the power of social media.
That realtor feedback.
Yep. That's what every house we do. Anytime we flip a property, it's the same floors, same color walls, same cabinetry.
Same.
Might change up the countertops, but that's about it. When I first started doing it, I would be like, oh, this house would look sweet with a yellow kitchen.
Right.
This bathroom would be cool with the blue. Then I had 50 tubs of paint that went nowhere, got wasted. And it's just, I don't know, trial and error. And then people walk in like, oh, man, that kitchen's so terrible. Why'd they paint it yellow?
Oh, my heart.
So it's like, oh, man, then you get offended. Yeah. So it's like, all right, if I paint it gray, I'm not getting offended. Yeah. You like, everybody likes gray.
That grayscale is really popular right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see what the next color will be, because it was tan for so long and then went to gray.
We just was moving from tan to like gray. Gray really killing right now. It just give that soft home touch. You know what I mean? Yeah. That gray, everybody love it right now.
Tan looks old school too.
I wanted to with like oak cabinets.
Yeah. 80s-ish.
I want to circle back to the made up number.
Okay.
Because that is something that we, so having somebody that is knowledgeable in real estate, if you're going to go buy a property and you got Joe Schmo down the street saying, I want $50K for my house, and you're like, there's no way these houses are going for this much in this neighborhood, but you really want the house or whatever, you want to hit up your real estate agent or your investor people over here, just somebody that's really knowledgeable and in the game to like look it up for you, so you're not getting like ripped off, so to speak. Because there's you get a lot of that like made up numbers. They're like, I want this, and you're like, no.
Get an appraisal sometimes. That works too.
That works too, for sure. So the investor rule, I wanted to touch on that. So in the investor world, you want to be all in on a house at 70% of the ARV. You want to know, like, what's ARV? So ARV is your after repair value. So like we were talking about, like the neighborhood goes for $100K. You want to be all in at a house at $70,000. Do you want to touch on that? Because I know you do that, Jason.
Yeah, I mean that's the general guideline when you're doing it. And to be safe, I sometimes aim for about 65%. That way I have that extra 5% buffer in case every house is gonna have something go wrong. So don't buy expecting, oh, I'm gonna get this 30% profit when I go to sell this, because it never happens. It's not realistic.
Yeah, most definitely leave some meat on the bone for unexpected problems. One thing you also can do is just get an inspection on it. I know they cost a couple $100, but it's to invest in people.
Tens of thousands.
It'll save you $5,000-$10,000. I know on me and my own partner's first couple properties, we went on it and it looked lovely. We was just head over heels for it. Like, it looks so good. We want it. We think we can make a profit off of this. We had brought in our inspector, and he tore us apart. When we got the results back, it was just all the nooks and cranny stuff we would have never seen. Like, the furnace wasn't even hooked up right. The vent circulation wasn't hooked up right. There was electrical problems going on, and all of this was all behind the walls. Like, just walking in and looking at a property, you would never just know the full potential, of what it 100% needs, though. So you don't never just want to walk into a property blind and just fall in love with it off the look. Like, oh, it just got good walls and floors.
Man, I'll tell you, I have a house right now. This is big.
The face, because you're guilty. You're so guilty.
I thought I was an expert.
We all bumped our head. We all had to bump the head, didn't we?
Oh, man. I did, this is about a year ago, I bought a house, and I was already like 30 houses deep. So I'm like, I know what I'm looking for. I'm good. This house, I was like, oh, this is perfect. Great neighborhood. Not too much work.
Are you talking? I wonder if you're talking about the one that I think you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. We opened up the paneling on the basement walls, and it was buckled, just water pouring in. Anything you could think of to go wrong with the property has gone wrong with this property. The whole roof, it was leaking in between the garage where it attached that so bad that the whole wall was just rotted out inside. So we pretty much rebuilt this whole house, man. Biggest nightmare I've ever had.
But the good that came out of that is your foundation person that you got.
Yeah, and I learned to always get an inspection. And
then wasn't your siding person too?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean,
there was some
lessons
came
learned,
out of that
but
too.
I would have much rather just not bought the house. Save the time, effort, money, everything. But it happens, man. That's a part of this real estate stuff. Like, everybody watches HGTV and thinks that it's like all peaches and cream. And
I did too. That's where I started off watching AG. Like, I'm gonna do what they do.
Yeah, they lure you in.
Mondo Montalago or whatever his name is.
In 20 days, I'm gonna have this thing fixed up, flipped up, all the way ready to go, ready to wholesale, etc. The story don't go like that, honestly, though. Yeah.
Nope.
Just do your due diligence, though. That's what I just, throw out there. Do some due diligence. Look up anything you can find about the property. Get your people in line. Get your contractors in line. Get your inspectors in line. Yeah. And
if you need people, we've got contacts for all of it.
Contacts for everything.
Yeah. That's one thing. Our group is not very greedy, stingy. I mean, we'll help you out any possible way we can. When I first started this, I was all about money. How can I get money? And then I had a guy, he's popular around the area, Rick Howell. He taught me, man, if you focus on the people over the money aspect of it, you'll win every time.
Serve.
It changes your whole outlook on it, and you build better relationships.
Yeah.
So
don't worry about the money; it's gonna come. You want to take care of the people, though.
Yep.
That's definitely something you want to do, though. Take care of your folks. So, Ashleigh, so as far as for the, I want to jump a little bit into after you buy a house. So this is for people who already own their own house. And they may not know that you can, based off of how much equity that you got built in the house, that you can do a refinance on this house. Just touch base with a little bit of the people of, how to refinance and, what's some of the steps on refinancing? Because
I'm not a financial person.
You're not a financial person?
I don't know the steps with that.
So, I mean, I can touch it just, a bit.
I think both of you guys actually would be better on this since you're on that end of it more.
Yeah.
Because I've been on the seller side quite a bit lately.
Right.
Not the buyer side.
So basically what you're saying is once you have the property fixed, In some aspects, if you're renting it out, you can pull out a percentage of your equity in the property, which is generally about 80%, depending on who your lender is that you're going through, and you can recycle that money that you originally invested into that house, so you can keep on snowballing your profit or your properties. So, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, most definitely. Yep. Refinancing, like I know a lot of my people's, even my own parents. Sometimes they own their own properties or whatnot, but they may not know that you got a gym sitting there.
Yep.
And you can pull out the money and go buy another property and make that property work for you, essentially. Someone who may not necessarily live in a property, you can take a loan out on it, and say it's a 80% of value loan. Say you owe $400 a month, but your tenant paying you $800 a month. That's still overhead per month, though. You know what I mean? So, and I always read this in a lot of my books. Don't be scared of good debt. It's debt. It's debt out here, but it's good debt too as well. You know, back in the day, a lot of our parents always told us, don't get so many credit cards or don't get into debt and don't do this and that. The way the world working right now, if you can get your hands on $10,000 that can make you $500 a month, do it. Yeah. Do it. Why not? For a lot of people out there who work at the job, if you got a 401k, utilize it, make it work. I guarantee you, if you buy a $10,000 property and put a tenant in there for $500 a month, it's gonna make more than your 401k will for you.
Yep. Utilize the 401k properly. Don't pull that 10 grand out to get a new paint job and rims, because that car is a liability. It's not an asset. That's something.
It's only a matter of time with a car.
Yep.
It's only a matter of time though before it start costing you.
Yeah.
Like soon as you pull that car off the lot, it's not worth nothing. I know it's sweet right now, but once you do a couple donuts in it, it's over with. It's gone. And to keep in mind with that, properties, they raise value as well too. Every year, you're probably looking at about 5 to 10% on an increase though. So keep that in mind too. Yeah. Always make sure you want to be around areas that's up and developing. You know, the downtown area right now, we got a lot of investors coming in the downtown area. West Side is one of my particular areas that I like to invest in. South End is pretty cool. You know,
I'm seeing a lot of stuff on the east side shooting up.
East is going up.
Yeah.
East is moving though.
Where I grew up.
You got an east side rider.
You get along that waterfront and the Oakdale Park area. I've been finding a lot of good properties in there. A lot of good tenants I've been dealing with lately. I like it over there. I know, like, I hate to say this, but the East Side's had a bad stigma for a while. So it's good to see.
Redheaded stepchild of Toledo.
Yeah, it's good to see it coming up and doing good. So
doing a way a lot more better.
I want to touch on tenants, because one thing that I'm sure you guys both get hit up a lot about is, like, do you have any rental properties? So I just want to say, like, for the people out there, you're looking to maybe buy a house eventually. Like, if you guys knew the breakdown of your rent and what you could have for that amount. Okay. So if you're in 43612, rent goes for what? $800, $850. The mortgages on those houses, people, are half of that.
Or even less.
Or less.
Or less.
Or less.
And to put that into more perspective, how much is your car payment? You're paying $300-$400 for a car. That's a house that's bringing in income and residual income. And like what you were saying, you could refinance against it, get the equity out. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. So, like, some of you guys know this, most of you don't. But at 21, I bought a duplex. Okay, Auburn, Monroe area. And the name of the game then was to live in one unit and to rent out the top. And that's what we did. The mortgage on that property. So your mortgage is like your pity payment. Your payment, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance. That whole house, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, each unit was $385 a month. We rented it for like $450, I think, a month. Had the cable Jimmy rigged and charged them for them too, for that too. But
you just put that on
I used
live
to,
podcast.
That's fine. I was a different person then. Anyway, so but that's how you do it. So you know, you have somebody else paying that note, you're staying for free. Like, you know, so
that's what I mean by good debt. Because even with one of my first properties, and me and my partner first property, the mortgage on it is only about $350.
Yeah.
$350.
Yeah.
But we got the upper and the lower unit renting for $750 and $650 per month. So we take that $300, apply that towards the mortgage. Make sure you pay the bank back on time. Because if you pay them back on time, they start liking you. Like, you want some more money?
Yep.
But we pay them back every time, and we still see an overhead of about $1,100 at the end of the month. But you know, keep in mind too, you got property taxes, you got water,
garbage,
just certain, you know, just little things you don't want to miss out on. Just always leave a little bit more meat on the bone. But if it makes sense, do it though. Don't be scared to get into that finance with the banks though. A lot of people be scared to go to the bank, man. I tell a lot of my friends, man, you sitting on a 700 credit score and you got $10,000 in the bank. Why don't you just go to the bank? Oh man, no, I don't know about that bank, man. That bank, man, they gonna want too much from you. They gonna want this and there and the other.
So scared. There's a lot of fear.
It's nothing to be scared of. I mean, they gonna give you exactly what they want you to do and what they need from you. All you got to do is go out there, put your ducks in a row, and knock it out.
I want to touch on that. So a lot of places, a lot of banks have like first-time home buyer credits. So if you're actually looking to like be an owner-occupant, meaning actually live in this house, like talk to your bank about what they offer because you're going to get a lot of help like we talked about way in the beginning. I know that Directions Credit Union has a program, Huntington, Fifth Third, Toledo Urban, just to name a couple. Like they all have programs for first-time home buyers and will assist you to get up and running to get in that first house. Because then you could pull equity out of it, buy a second one, have a rental.
Okay.
Boom. Right?
So I got a question.
We got a phone call.
Oh, we got a caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey guys. Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, how you doing?
All right. I just had a question. So actually I just need more information, and I think a lot of people would really benefit off of it. I think that there's this perception that in order to own a home, you have to have 750 credit, and you got to have $10,000-$20,000 down or deposit ready for a home. I've learned that that's not true, but if you guys could go in depth about that and how fairly easy it is to own a home.
Most definitely.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We kind of touched base on that early on, but yeah, you don't need all that. Like now, you can get a house with a 620 credit score or less, depending on your debt to income ratio, or you're standing at your job. If you've been at your job for say 10 years and you're consistently making the same amount of money, but your credit score is like a 595, they're still gonna get you pre-approved because you're showing consistency on your payments. You're showing. A lot of times, credit can get dinged up by something stupid that you did 5 years ago. But yeah, you're right. You don't need a 700 credit score. You don't need the $10,000 down. There are the programs, especially for police officers, teachers. There's a lot of programs for those guys where it's $500 down or $0 down. But a general FHA, which everybody's been using lately, is 3.5% down. It's $3,500 per $100,000 of property. So yeah, it's not impossible to do. I mean, it's very feasible to come up with $3,500 and to get a house.
And even if you're not looking to necessarily, like say you can't, maybe you can't do an FHA. Maybe say you get to the program and they got some issues, they may need a couple more qualifications. You can always go conventional loan too. Conventional loan, that's 10% down.
Well, now it's even, they just dropped it to 3%.
3%?
No
I've been
way.
getting conventional loans at 3%.
Okay, so the difference between FHA and conventional, because that to me is like,
it used to, from my understanding, this was before I was in real estate, but it used to be the 10% and even 20% down sometimes for a conventional loan. It's a little bit easier to purchase a home because you're not dealing with the FHA guidelines and so forth. But even the FHA guidelines aren't what they used to be, where it used to be 30 things had to be fixed and repaired before you could buy it. Now it's just general things like peeling paint, asbestos tile floors and basements generally. But it's not impossible. And I feel like FHA gets that same rep as like Section 8 leasing. Like when you go to do it, like the Section 8 codes and guidelines, it's not as strict as it used to be by any means. So now I've been getting better deals with conventional loans than I was FHA, 5 years ago when I first started. So
the rates are most definitely better.
Oh yeah, way better. Now if there are any lenders that want to chime in on this little message thing, feel free to do so, because I know I got one or two on here that are keeping quiet. I see your name popping up.
and again too, if you a cash buyer, you got a lot of just cash sitting around. Find you a wholesaler. Call myself. Call Ashleigh or Jason.
I say we each have a couple wholesalers besides you.
Right.
No, we don't. He's the only one.
Fine. We're being real.
All right. But yeah, find you a wholesaler. Like say you just got 15, 20K cash. You can get down to the it's called Document Express in Toledo, Ohio. Go down to Document Express. Tell them you want to do a quick claim deed.
I'm gonna touch on
quick
that.
claim deed, and they'll literally transfer over the title within 5 or 10 minutes.
And
literally, they'll record it.
Yeah, and what we were saying, there's a lot of people in bad positions all over the country, really, especially coming out of Corona. I know it's going to be a rough road.
Man, we're going to be
spring's gonna
70, 80-hour weeks, man.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. So if you feel like you are trapped and you just want to unload a property, especially people that have multiple properties, that they might be behind in back taxes and they don't really want a huge profit out of it, but they just want to get rid of the property, reach out to people like Chris. He can help you out. Reach out to me, Ashley. We can buy it from Chris. So
right.
So reach out to these people, man. Like it's not the end of the world. Like you can get bailed out of situations, and even if it seems like it's something that's going to be super hard or impossible, it's truly not. Like there's a lot of buyers, a lot of out-of-state investors that $10,000 or $15,000 that keeps you up at night isn't anything to them. So get bailed out. Talk to somebody like Chris. Reach out to him.
Yeah, give me a call, man. We got all kind of properties ranging from $10,000 to $20,000. I mean, they're not gonna be in the best shape now, y'all know. Now keep in mind these $10,000 or $20,000 houses is not gonna be in the best shape. Probably not gonna be move-in ready. But if you somebody by all means who can fix your own house, do your own floors, or maybe you running like a contractor business, find you a wholesaler, get your house and fix it yourself. It's gonna save you a lot of cost on repair values. Repair values is a big part into real estate when you buy distressed homes, because like we said, you want to have that spread in between what you bought the house for, how much you put into it, and what you can sell it for.
Yeah.
And if you can do your own repairs and you can make your own, fix your own roofs and etc., you can save yourself tens of thousands of dollars and essentially sell it for a lot bigger profit though.
Exactly.
Most definitely.
I want to touch on the quick claim deed.
Quick claim deed. Let's do it.
So what I've run into as an agent, even on the wholesaling side, so whenever you go to buy a house, you're going to always want to take it through title. Always, always, always. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to pay this $500 to $1,000 to get title work done. Well, you're going to want to, because there could be something on the house when you go to sell it that will keep you from selling it. So for example, I have a property, had an offer in on it, sent it over to title. Everything was looking good, looking great until title comes back. And then there's 2 open mortgages on it from 2 previous owners.
Wow.
But my current seller had quit claimed it, got it quit claimed over to her. So there was no like background done essentially on the house. So we have been just taking the time to get in contact with these other 2 people to get it
all resolved,
taken care of. Yes. Yeah. So like that's just one instance. Liens of any sorts, like maybe like a mechanic's lien, or what else? What have you run into? on that?
Normally it's back taxes.
Back taxes.
Back taxes too.
Big time.
Before you go sell a house too, make sure you know how much the back taxes is on it, because we've ran into some issues just in the past where a person may want $10,000-$15,000, but when it goes to closing, they may owe $2,000 or $3,000 in back taxes. Now the title company, they're not going to transfer the deed over until all taxes are paid off. So you may be looking at a $15,000 check turn into an $11,000 check because you had about $4,000 in back taxes.
Water bills too.
Water bills
Water bills as well too, and those are paid at a title agency too. So when you do want to get with a title agency, like Louisville Title, I know we use them a lot.
I love
Louisville, them probably my favorite ones.
Same. Shout out to Kelsey.
Shout out Helene.
Yes.
Helene
I
is a
love
kid.
her.
Helene
And my Debs.
and Dez too. Though.
Both of them. There's two.
So I want to jump a little bit into the lease option to own versus the rent to own. And a lot of people get these two confused. So I just kind of want to clear it up. So let's take a call.
Side note.
All right. Hello?
Hi, I just had a question for you guys.
No doubt.
How come places won't give you a bank loan if you tell them that you don't think you have great credit?
You probably want to walk in there kind of a little bit knowledgeable about where your credit score might be. Because when you're working with banks, you want to make sure you got your ducks in a row. You don't want to walk in there and be like, hey, I want to take a loan out for X amount of dollars. How can you help me out? I know a good thing if people don't know where their credit is go ahead and check out Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app. It helps you as far as knowing where your credit at, knowing what's your debt to income ratio is. Go ahead.
Because the only thing on my credit is medical bills from like 16 years ago when I was super young.
So that I wouldn't think that would affect you though. Medical bills and school bills are something that banks look past a lot of the times. Just because so many Americans we got it. A lot of us went to college and tried to drop, try to be the best, be the best we can be. Didn't necessarily make it and ended up in a pool of debt owing $10,000 or $20,000. So I wouldn't let that fear of having a medical bill or a school bill, put you on the fence of, not walking into that bank and seeing what kind of options you do have. You'll be surprised at some of the options that the bank can give you.
And something that I recommend, if you go to a bank, it's a lot different than going to an actual mortgage lender. I would go to a mortgage broker in Toledo where you can walk in their office and discuss things with them. Because even if you're not pre-approved, they can tell you exactly what you need to do to get a line to be pre-approved within a certain amount of time, 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever the case may be. But I highly recommend a mortgage broker who specifically focuses on mortgages instead of just a banker. That's just my.
They have more knowledgeable about the products and stuff like that, and where you can qualify for.
Yeah. And keep in mind too, smaller banks. It's a lot of banks that people necessarily might not know exist, so to speak. I know we got the bigger banks like Huntington. We got PNC, Key Bank, but there's smaller banks like credit unions. Credit unions is a good place to go off and start off with. If you've been working at Jeep or you got a good job with Jeep and you want to start something with your credit union, they know you've been there for 3-4 years on the job. Just go up there, take a shot at it. I've been on the job 3-4 years. I have this X amount down that I can work with. Let me know what y'all can do with me. And they'll go over the guidelines and get you even through a program sometimes to get everything you need to check off your list.
Does that answer your question?
And if you need,
yes, ma'am.
If you need any help, reach out to us, and we'll after this little show we'll talk to you about that a little bit more in depth.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So even not even having to go through a bank in certain situations where we were just touching on the topic of doing the lease option versus a rent-to-own situation. So I deal with a lot of different lease options. We sold multiple lease options this year for people who may not have necessarily the credit that the banks are looking for just yet. So, being an example, you may have a 590 credit score, and you're ready to purchase you a house, move forward into a house, and start building some equity into it. So, lease option on. Let's jump a little bit into that. So, how lease option on works is you put between 5 and 10% down of the purchase price. You lease the house until your credit score reaches that 620, 630 rate, and then you automatically go into financing it from that point. And a lot of people, they get it mixed up with the rent-to-own program, which is you put a down payment down, you make a monthly payment of, say, $800 a month, and the total cost of the house is $60,000. So what they're doing is they taking you the long route. Every time you pay that $800, only $200 of it is going towards the purchase price. How long is it going to take?
All depends on
$200.
contract.
Yeah.
How did it look in the contract?
Yeah, on a rent to own. Yeah. So how long is it going to take you to pay off $60,000 with $200 of it being applied towards the purchase price per month? More than likely, you probably not going to get to the finish line.
Or life happens.
Right, or life happens though. So with lease options is giving those people who may not have the best credit a situation to where they can, put equity down on the house because the down payment is applied towards the purchase price. You lease it, and we put you in a 1-year lease. So a lot of people they may need that 1 year, and some of the people may only need 30 days. I've had clients come in and within 30 days they went straight to refinancing, and then there's other clients that may need 6 months, only 10 or 20 points shy away from getting a loan, and then they finance from that route. But going to the bank, already seeing that you put some equity into this home, already put some interest into this home, I got some equitable interest into it, then the banks will be, more willing to lend you, already showing you living in this house. I'm making payments on this house. I've put a down payment on this house. I got the credit score y'all need. Can y'all finance me for the rest? And it's going to significantly lower your lease payments. So say you paying $750 a month. So once you get it financed, you're probably going to be looking at about $450 a month, saving yourself about $200-$300 on the lease side, and you building in equity with each payment now. And I let Ashleigh and them touch a little bit more about equity, but equity is essentially every payment you make is another payment towards you owning that house. So every $500 you pay, that's $500 more dollars that you got built towards that property for equity.
Real quick though, before we move on, have you ever had a rent to own tenant in place and then they rent to own it to somebody else at a higher fee?
Like a sublease?
Yeah.
No, so we always protect ourselves and make sure there's no subleasers on it. You want to make sure now that's from the aspect of you being someone who wants to do a lease option for someone else. But being in the house and living in the house, you're not going to be able to lease it out or sublease it while you're living at the property.
Yeah, because I've had that happen.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
You will definitely can't do that.
Yeah, I had them under contract at $600 a month, and they're doing it to somebody else for $850. I was like, oh,
So that's
okay.
capitalism at its finest.
Hey.
There you go.
As long as it's getting paid, it didn't matter to me. I was just looking at like, hey, it's a good hustle.
Lease options is smooth on the hustle side too. So I'll give you a quick breakdown on the numbers. Say you meet up with a seller, and they got this property here, and you guys come up with terms. I want $5,000 down. I want $500 a month, and I want $50,000 total for the house. Once you get that contract, that property under contract, you can then turn over and assign it to the now purchaser at $7,000 down. I need $700 a month, and I need $60,000 at the end of the closing costs. So you can potentially collect in 3 different areas, making you some money. You can collect on a down payment. When they give you that $7,000, you get $5,000 to the owner, 2, that's going to your pockets. Every time they pay that $500 a month, or I'm sorry, they pay that $700 a month, the owner only wants 5. Guess where the other 2 going? Mr. Pocket. And then when they finance at the end of the property, they at 50, you got the seller at 60. When it goes to closing, guess who get to collect 10 grand? You, Mr. Pocket. And you know what I mean? So that's just, one of the strategies for lease options. You can be on the front of it. You can be, they call it a sandwich deal, or you can just be on the end of it. It's so many ways how you can structure lease options to make a profit, for your own self. That it's remarkable, man. It'll literally change your life. I know my first one, and I give y'all just an example. My first one, I had the owner this was a house on Douglas, nice big yellow, 4 or 5 bedroom house.
1-3 or 2-3s up?
It was 1-3 area.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
TPS.
So So the owner he was satisfied with just 25. He was like, if you can give me $2,500 down on this and get me $700 a month, I will be glad and okay with that. When I did my due diligence and looked at it, I seen you can get every bit of $8,000 to $10,000 down on this house, and probably $1,000 a month. As far as the total price, I think he was at like 70, 75, 80. But when we ran our comparables, it was looking like around like the 110 area though. So it was a lot of meat on the bone. So my first time coming through, I was just like Jason. I was just like, I want the money. But you most definitely don't want to, be grinding towards the money first though. But we did end up getting that client, our first buyer, into that one for a $6,000 payment. Down payment, which means we made about $4K on the down. We had the owner at 8, and we had the let me see here, the seller. I'm sorry, we had the seller at 8, and the buyer was at 1,000. So that was $200 profit.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a beautiful game, though, man. We could go all day talking about
so many
numbers.
different ways to make money.
It's just so many different ways, though.
There really is.
It's so many different ways, though.
I want to touch on something for so the lady that called when she mentioned hospital bills. If you didn't know, you can actually go to the hospital and talk to their billing department and wheel in and deal to get them reduced or gone.
Yeah, because they look at it most time as a loss. Like they're not going to see some majority
so
of it.
Just for those of you out there that didn't know that, I was like, I need to say that. And then for you guys aren't going to like me for this, but your renters, there's a lot of renters out here with landlords who may not fix the property in a fashionable amount of time. So I just wanted you guys to know that you can't. Whose belly was that? Who's hungry? Who didn't eat?
We had no breakfast this morning. Straight up and go, you man. Had to get to it.
I got it. So you can put your money in escrow, the money in escrow. So the way I look at it is, if you keep paying your, your owner of the house the money, why would they ever come and fix it if you're keeping and giving them the money? When that's what they want out of it anyways. A lot of these, we call them slumlords, okay? So what you can do is you can go put the money in escrow. You're going to go downtown. It's one government center. You're going to go in that building. You're going to fill out paperwork. And that you're still paying your rent. You're still, you're not going to get in trouble for not paying it and having it be on time and whatnot. And then the landlord actually has to come out and fix whatever is wrong with the property before they can collect that money that's
Most
there.
Definitely.
So I just wanted you guys to know that, because
That's huge. That's important.
huge.
That's something huge, because a lot of people is living in mold. You might have mold or mildew or something that might be a potential danger to you, and you'll be telling this landlord all day, like, look, I got mold growing on my walls. I got mold growing on my, and he might just come over there and want to paint it. Like just paint over it, throw a dehumidifier in there. That's unacceptable. If they making $600 or $700 a month from your rent,
There's no reason.
There's no reason for them to come in there and get the things fixed the right way.
I had a girl the other day. She gave me a call because she said that her landlord's been ignoring her calls for.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. What can we do for you? Can you hear us? Hi.
Hello, hey, how you doing? Uh-oh, we lost him.
But this girl was saying that her landlord's been ignoring her, and she's like, "Can you come take a look at this, see how bad it is?" Her bathroom was leaking into her cabinet where her dishes were.
Oh, from upstairs.
Yeah, like,
kitchen.
dude, that's unsanitary. Like, that's health violations
Big time.
all over. You did that in a restaurant, you would be
Shut down.
Yeah, you would be done.
You'd be shut down though for something like that.
Yep.
And some landlords, man, they just want the money.
Yep.
the money, but they need to take care of the property too as well. So
Take care.
I appreciate Ashleigh for, letting y'all know about escrow. How to protect yourselves though against slumlords, so to speak, or just somebody who ain't taking care of the property or hasn't fulfilled the promises. Because I know some people, they get into a situation to where they putting their money down and they moving into the property, and the landlord is just like, well, once you move in, we'll get everything fixed.
No.
Just don't worry about
Never
it.
happens.
Get it
No,
on.
don't give him the
listen,
money.
Get it on
Don't give him
paper.
the cookie.
Get it on paper. Get it on paper. Get his signature. Make sure that he is gonna pay for whatever he said. Though.
Yeah.
Make sure he's gonna pay for that.
I want to touch on too, because I got inboxed the other day about a scam that's going around. So one thing that you guys want to do if you're taking them at like either purchasing a home, maybe that you saw on Marketplace, or renting a home that you saw on Marketplace, contact a real estate agent or, investor or wholesaler, somebody that you have that has access to look up the property itself, look up the owner, to see if that person is in fact tied to that property.
Right.
One website that's really good, and you guys can all access it at home, is aries.com, www.ares.
R-I-E-S.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Yep,
R-is.
you're right.
He had to write it
areis.com.
down.
I didn't see it.
Well, I have it just saved, so it's like
Aries.
click.
Yep.
So aries.com, you can look at the owner, see if they're local, and you can also look up back taxes on that as well. So,
Yeah.
you got somebody that's trying to sell you a house for $5,000 and it's got $10,000 in back taxes on it. And they're like, let's go to the lawyer. No, you can look
I had
up.
those situations too happen. I'm dealing with somebody the whole time, and come to closing time, it's like, the property is in your auntie name?
Who's dead?
Oh yeah, but it's in her name, but no, we need the auntie to sign, not
Yeah,
you. You know what I
not
mean?
you.
So make sure you do your due diligence
Man.
on who the owner is. Make sure you check the title, for them back taxes though, because even on the quick deed, y'all, you can buy a quick deed house from somebody, and guess who taxes they become if you don't do your due diligence first. So say somebody got a house for $10,000, like I got $10,000, boom, you go to buy it. Taxes come around. We all hate that little piece of paper in the mail when it's time to pay them.
Taxes
But-
follow the property, people, not the
Right,
owner.
most definitely
They
though.
follow the
Yeah,
property.
they follow the property.
Doesn't matter
though.
who owns it.
Yeah,
or who
that's-
it gets sold to.
Most definitely though. So if
That
you
land
not,
is that land.
Yeah. So if you're not gonna go through a title agency, you want to just do a quick claim deed. Make sure you do some homework on it. Make sure that
Go to title.
go to title.
I've seen too many. Go to title.
Some people scared of title though. I don't. Some people, everybody not.
We got to get over this fear, people.
Well, you have-
What are you
I mean,
guys
they
making
scared,
it
They
mean?
get scared of title though.
You have
Like,
experienced investors though that they don't want to deal with title. They're just like, I get it. I know what
Yeah.
I'm gonna fall into.
Well,
I'm
they
okay
don't
with it.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just the D boys. I got 20 bands and I want to buy it right now.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go to quick claim. But me, I want to make sure I do the due diligence first though for my seller though. As well as my buyer. I'm not gonna put them in a situation to where, okay, you buying a house for $10,000, but it got $4,000 in taxes that you really don't know about. You're like, You don't want to, get into a situation like that. It ain't a healthy situation for nobody on either parties. I ain't gonna lie, the seller might be happy, like, so
Yeah.
I sold my taxes off, but no, don't do that to yourself. Make sure y'all doing your due diligence though on that, most definitely.
I think we covered so much.
Yeah, we did though. But let's touch a little bit though, because I don't think we talked about this though on the BRRRR strategy though.
Okay, you're so yes. Let's talk about
let's talk about that.
Bring
BRRRR
everybody
strategy,
on. Let's all eat.
Yeah. So I mean, Jason deal with it a lot, doing fix and flips. Dealing with different investors. And keep in mind too, people, when you're doing fix and flips, you want to utilize OPM.
Other people's
money. You ain't gotta have, $20,000-$30,000 to do it yourself. You come to an investor with the right type of information, the scope of work, and a template. They'll fund the deal for you. You just want to, deal with these contractors and making sure they get everything done on time and making sure the sale go through. You find somebody like Ashleigh or Jason or Rod Pascal or Dominique. Some of my people, shout out to them.
Yes.
To get it on the market and get it gone. Most definitely though. But I'll let Jason touch a little bit about the BRRRR strategy though.
So first off, the BRRRR strategy is not like BRRRR as in code, is BRRR. It's buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. It's the way you can build a good portfolio. Normally, this is what everybody who wants to invest tries to do. What it is, you buy a property from somebody like a wholesaler at a cheap cost, you rehab it, you rent it out, then you refinance it, get that money back, and then get another property. By doing that, you can buy multiple properties in a very quick amount of time. And it's the most effective way to build those portfolios that you see Grant Cardone's and all these big gurus talk about. And it's something that a lot of times when you go to seminars, and we were talking about this the other day, you have to pay $10,000, $20,000 for their 9 DVDs and their podcast.
We used to do that, man. I know my first one, I paid, I think it was like $300. Got behind door number 1. Went to the next one, I think it was like $1,200. Got behind door number 2. That next one, they said we want $40,000.
But we guarantee
we'll hold your hand. And I think it was Fortune Builders. I think we were both talking on the same one at there in Merrill though. It's a good program though, people. Don't knock it though. Most definitely go in there and network. I mean, you're gonna have some buyers in there. You're gonna have some people selling in there. If you ain't got a dime to your name, and a lot of them is free. So, I mean, you can just walk straight up in there, get some knowledge, and walk out with a couple contacts too, some cash buyers. Some people, mostly come there to just, shoot out business cards or whatnot. So, it's most definitely a great
way to network.
Networking mechanism, though, for sure. Yeah.
We only got a couple minutes left, so let's go ahead and start wrapping this up a little bit. We covered a lot, a whole lot more than what I was expecting we were going to do. So, real quick, if you're looking to just buy a house, get pre-approved, reach out to somebody like me or Ashleigh or a real estate agent who knows the area. We'll get you into a house. You can close nowadays within probably 30 days tops. It's going pretty fast now. If you're looking to get rid of a property and you don't want to deal with somebody like me or Ashleigh, reach out to this guy right here. He'll take care of you, get you a good price on your property and get it sold for you.
Most definitely.
And I mean, that's really it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on Facebook or however you can find us.
Buyers, so hiring a realtor. A lot of people, let's touch on that just really quickly. So if you are a buyer looking to buy a property in this market right now, you don't have to pay for a realtor. We're already going to get compensated. Say Chris over here is going to buy a house. Okay. Jason's got a house listed. And I bring Chris to show this house. He's like, I want it. I'm going to make an offer on it. And then Jason's client says yes for whatever amount.
Right.
Okay. That sale amount covers not only Jason's commission as a listing agent, but my commission as the buying agent. So Chris isn't paying me to go look at a house, and I'm just spending gas and time. That's all it is. So
And don't call the people on the sign. When you call the person on the sign, they're not representing you. They're representing the seller. They're looking out for the seller's best interest. That's one thing everybody does. Do not do that. Find you another agent. There's so many agents in Toledo. Find a friend of a friend that'll look out for your best interest. Get the best deal you can get.
I need full disclosure. I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you everything that I'm allowed to tell you on agency or all the disclosures, property disclosures. I have a house now. Needs lead abatement. Full disclosure.
Well,
you guys gotta be super honest. So
yeah, but like Jason said, man, y'all looking for properties to buy. You want to do a lease option? Reach out to me. For
a lot of my people who are looking to do that, hit him up. Because you guys call me, I'm just going to shuffle them to him.
And keep in mind, folks, keep in mind, you don't have to have the best credit yet. My goal is getting you to, past the finish line. You can come in with a 595, but we're going to need you at 620 within that year. Mm-hmm. We got 1 year. I always tell people this too. Lexington Law Firm, they're a great... They're a great credit company that removes any inquiries, and I'm a user of it myself. I know probably about 2 years ago when I started taking my credit serious, I was like in the 400s. They probably removed about 30, 35 items off my credit. And I love you to death, Mom, but my mom was putting cable, gas, lights, just different family members.
Kids.
Like they was...
Gosh,
it was just
stop doing that.
It was just certain stuff on my credit that I necessarily didn't know about. They got that removed all the way up to it was $100 a month, up until I got to the higher sixes range, closer to 7. Then you can always lower your plan down to $25 a month too. So you don't have to pay the $100 a month every month. But it is something that I recommend to anybody that needs to boost their credit, or you ready to get to the bank and do an FHA loan,
or you can reach out to Jason White.
Jason White.
He knows Jason White, 700 Club. Jump up
You
and
see his billboards around Toledo.
Yeah, most definitely. Jason help you out on that.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you guys want to add? If you're under contract in a house, don't buy a boat. I saw somebody that's following me who did it. So I'm going to call him out on it now.
Okay, yo, we got a question though. So David Cassie said, what about land bank properties? Pros and cons.
Well, let me touch on land bank. Okay, so land bank, you have to have proof of funds. Not only for the purchase price of the house, but the cost of repairs. They want to know what you got and if you're going to do what you say you're going to do. Yep. It is like a 10-page application on top of the other paperwork involved, and you're just going to go through with the contractor. Yeah. A lot of times these houses need everything. Yeah. All major repairs from your roof to your foundation, some of them, electrical, and you need to go through with the contractor to see how much that's going to cost for each thing, and then we write it up in the report. No. They review it, every Wednesday, and then decide on Thursdays? Yeah.
Well, with COVID and stuff, I'm not even sure.
I don't know what they're doing anymore. Yeah, that's how it was.
That $2,500 listed house might not be as good of a deal as you think it is, because you might get in there and need $50,000, $60,000 in repairs. Yeah. So be careful. Just weigh the pros and cons and see what other houses are out there in that area. Yeah.
Man, and the banks require so much too on those land bank houses though.
Do they? I didn't know
they look so pretty though. Like when you going online, you see on Realtor like, ooh, 3,000, ooh, 4,000. Yeah. You can get it for that price though, but once again, just make sure your ducks in the line. Mm-hmm. Make sure you got your contractor, a scope of work, and pretty much what the bank want to see is if we give you this property, tell us how you gonna fix it and how you gonna make it somewhere in the community to where it's gonna work for everybody. Even for the government, because now you make it back a taxable place too. You know what I'm saying? Once you fix it up, the government can start making taxes on.
Well, you can get good deals through land bank.
You can.
Yeah, land banks. Yeah.
I want to touch on nuisances.
He's about to kick us out.
Are we done? We got to be done. What time?
Like 7 minutes ago.
Oh,
said be gone.
All right, man. Well, y'all, we gonna wrap it up though, man. I know my man got more things to do. But like we said earlier, you want to do lease options, you want to do wholesales, you need some more fix and flip information. You need information from an agent. Give Ashleigh a call, give Jason a call, give me a call. We here. You can reach me on Facebook at Chris Keller. You can reach Ashleigh at Ashleigh Smith. And then Jason at Jason J
Villa Realty.
J Villa Realty, though.
Yeah. Much
All
easier.
right, man. We appreciate it. 419 on the grind. We appreciate my man bringing us through. And get out there, get off your ass and invest in real estate, baby.
Yep.
Yes.
Let's go.
And I gotta say shout out to my barber who's mad because I put a hat on.
Did he hit you up for real?
Not yet, but he's gonna. I know it's coming.
$1,000 haircut with 10.
Man, why? I know.
And also Gene Patterson, Blue Sky Property, man.
Yes.
If you need your lawns cut, snow removal right now, give him a call.
Love
Most
Gene.
definitely. Yep. One more shout out I want to get to, man. My guy Ron, because I know a lot of people been asking me, do we do Section 8? Ron
Yes,
call.
we didn't even talk about
Give my man
Section
Ron call a call. That's all he do is Section 8. Pure Section 8. Give my man a call. He gonna hook you up, man. No doubt.
If you're looking for a Section 8 contractor, I have one.
Got him.
Boom.
All right, man.
It's a wrap.
There it is, and it's
We're
a wrap.
good.
All right,
Thank you
appreciate it.
guys for watching.